All right, y'all, it's circulating again. The trend of flat Earth beyond the Arctic wall, etc., etc. Listen, I've said this in plenty of videos before. Here's the real hidden truth. Okay, the hidden truth is that regardless of whether there's these lands out there or not, what are you guys doing as a species and family of Earth? Because remember, the animals are also our family. What are you doing about it instead of talking about it? I used to want to try to entertain this stuff and elaborate on it, but then I'm like, why? Because why do that when I've got so many other creative things that I have yet to do that are in the works. If Listen, at the end of it all, the way I see it, life still comes down to some key truths and principles. First key truth is that love is the power behind everything. Love is a creative force behind everything, is a divine force. Second, economic systems are made up. Okay, we are to live in harmony with nature. Yeah, I saw that. We are to live in harmony with nature. Okay, be self-sustaining and self-efficient. Okay, we should be able to explore and go play anywhere in the worlds and the realms. But you see, this also requires not just humans to be on the same page, but any other being or humanoid, whatever, or human like being, whatever. Any other intelligent being requires to be on the same page as well. It doesn't matter if there's land out there. There's land right here, right now, and currently there's a lot of cement in several parts of the land that can be used for self sustaining and self efficiency and can be used for gaming, right? Combat sports, racing in general, from land, sea, and air. So it really doesn't matter. It really does not matter. Okay? So what if it's been hidden? Okay, big whoop de doo. That doesn't take away from what needs to be done. What needs to be done is returning to self sustainability, self efficiency. People look for external resources so they can create things like electricity. Guess what? Here's another truth that this whole Antarctic wall and this whole thing is bringing back and reminding us. The truth is, you are that electric energy. So instead of mining for batteries and overexploitation of Earth's resources like copper or gold, how about just learn to, for example, wear copper and turn even something as simple as this one ring? Okay? Look, I gotta get my finger clean. Turn something as simple as this one ring into a bioamplificator or a bioamplifier of your own static electricity, of your own electrical energy. All right? Maybe you install some wedges in there, okay, similar to the Beatles' wings. Maybe you want to carve tiny wedges in there so that the static electricity that's flowing already, the energy that's already flowing, I'm gonna just use the term energy, that's already flowing in your body can be amplified. Do that. Work on that. No, do not do this, by the way. Only reason I ended up getting these was to extract the components, and I'm having such a bad temptation. I'm gonna put it down right now. So, anyways, that's what y'all need to be focusing on. That's the real hidden truth about the Antarctic wall. Okay? Because those truths, if you find more land, guess what? That's just going to remind you of the truth of the land. Truth of the land, of the sea and the air. There's vegetation, okay, everywhere, land and sea, except maybe for the air. But there's vegetation, all right? Which means nourishment, which means medicines, which means food, harmony. Okay. Aside from that, if you guys want to join the mega project feel free to send an email. Okay. As I mentioned before, the mega project, and I will keep mentioning it. The mega project has to deal with self-sustainability, self-efficiency, creativity, sports, athleticism, abundance, and all the goodness that has allowed life to exist in the first place. Okay? Focus on that. I know some of your adventurous side wants to go and explore. Okay, well then go and explore. And if you think, oh, you have to worry about military or United Nations or whatnot, then you don't know who you are, you don't know your potential, and you miscomprehend the world of commerce versus the natural living world. That's why I wouldn't blame that certain other worlds and or civilizations would want to stay away from the quote unquote known worlds because of the corruption. But then, for any of those that are listening to this, who relate on these truths, okay, especially a two spirit, especially if you're a kinky ass motherfucker, well, embrace yourself, embrace your power, work together, because there's so much creative shit to keep doing. All right, there's so many cool skills and abilities to unlock still. Music, left to right, explore, dance to. Okay, so the world is infinitely creative, infinitely abundant. So stay focused on that and also evolve. Keep evolving, because these long drawn out financial procedures on how we treat the infinite credit, the infinite value that life is, that life also reflects in all of its living beings, should be 100% reflected in full capacity on these financial systems. Like in my previous video, I talked about I'm in the middle of a claim. In that video, I mentioned that, man, if I had easy access to my credit, then fuck the claim. Because the claim is being made because of a damage done by a no-show bus, which caused me and the dog to walk. Let me let this noise pass for a moment. Which caused me and the dog to walk 5.7 miles. But if everyone had, or if I and everyone had easy access to this infinite value that we have, well, I wouldn't need to go for a claim so I can pay for her surgery, so I can pay for a bike, so I can get us a place to rent for a month for her recovery. Okay. I wouldn't have to do the claim, but I have to do the claim because the financial systems are evolving, but the current ones are still slow. If we really, a species or any form of life that allows an artificially made system to determine what is possible really is not operating at full capacity or full intelligence or full power. It is the ability to operate in full power that allows you to even attain what you need even without the credit available. Yes, it can happen if you actually put in the work, the right energy, the right spirit, and the right focus. You can get what it is you want and need for yourself, for your life, for the growth, development, nourishment of yourself and your life, and even for others. Okay? And then, I guess that's pretty much it. There really isn't anything else to say. I did want to clarify. When you send this email, all right, mention what are you interested in. Are you interested in combat sports? Are you interested in the whole entire mission that deals with self-sustainability, self-efficiency, sports, athleticism, sustainability, okay, harmony with the earth and our animal brethren and sistren? What are you interested in? What are your abilities? What can you bring to the table? Okay. And yeah, just to circle back, like I said, I wouldn't blame other civilizations not wanting to mess with this kind of civilization where our progress is, where the progress of many is stifled or procrastinated by overdrawn systems and procedures. You know. Anyways, peace.